Exodus chapter 3. Moses shepherded the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, who was priest of Midian. One day he led the flock across the desert and arrived at Horeb, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire coming out of the middle of a bush. Moses saw that although the bush was on fire, it was not consumed by the fire. How impressive, he thought. Why doesn't the bush burn? I'm going to see it up close. The Lord saw that he approached to observe. And then, from the middle of the bush, God called to him, "Moses, Moses." "Here I am," he replied. Then God said, "Do not come near. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place where you are standing is holy ground." He further said, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob." So Moses covered his face, because he was afraid to look at God. The Lord said, "I have indeed seen the oppression of my people in Egypt, and I have also heard their cry because of their taskmasters, and I know how much they are suffering. So I have come down to rescue you from the hand of the Egyptians and lead you out of here to a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, the land of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. For now the cry of the Israelites has come to me, and I have seen how the Egyptians oppress them. Go, then, now, I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt." But Moses answered God, "Who am I, that I should go before Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" God said, "I will be with you. This is proof that I am the one who sent you. When you bring the people out of Egypt, you will worship God on this mountain." Moses asked, "When I come before the Israelites and say to them, 'The God of your ancestors has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' What shall I tell them?" God said to Moses, "I am who I am. This is what you will say to the Israelites, 'I am sent me to you.'" God also said to Moses, "Say to the Israelites, 'The Lord, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, name by which I will be remembered from generation to generation. Go, assemble the rulers of Israel, and say to them, 'The Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, appeared to me and said, I will come to your aid, for I have seen what it has been done to them in Egypt. I promise to bring them out of the oppression of Egypt to the land of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, a land flowing with milk and honey. The rulers of Israel will listen to you. Then you will go with them to the king of Egypt and say to him, 'The Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has come to meet us. Now, let us take a 3-day journey into the desert to offer sacrifices to the Lord our God.' I know that the king of Egypt will not let them go unless a mighty hand compels him. Therefore I will stretch out my hand and strike the Egyptians with all the wonders that I will perform among them. After that he will let them out. And I will make the Egyptians show favor with the people, so that when you go out, you will not go away empty-handed. All Israelite women are to ask your neighbors and the women who are staying with you in your house for articles of silver and gold and clothing, which you will put on your sons and daughters. So you will plunder the Egyptians." Exodus chapter 4. Moses replied, "What if they don't believe me or listen to me and say, 'The Lord didn't appear to you'?" Then the Lord asked him, "What is that in your hand?" "A stick," he replied. Said the Lord, "Throw her to the ground." Moses threw it, and it turned into a serpent. Moses fled from her. But the Lord said to him, "Reach out and take it by the tail." Moses stretched out his hand, took the serpent, and it became a staff in his hand. And the Lord said, "This is so that they may believe that the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, has appeared to you." The Lord said to him, "Put your hand on your chest." Moses obeyed, and when he took her out, she was leprous, it looked like snow. He then ordered him, "Now, put your hand on your chest again." Moses put his hand back on his chest, and when he took it out, it was like the rest of his skin again. The Lord continued, "If they do not believe you or pay attention to the first miraculous sign, they will believe in the second. And if they still don't believe these two signs or listen to him, take some water from the Nile and pour it on dry land. When you pour this water on dry land, it will turn to blood." But Moses said to the Lord, "O Lord, I have never been able to speak easily, neither in the past nor now that you have spoken to your servant. I cannot speak well." The Lord said to him, "Who gave man his mouth? Who made him deaf or dumb? Who gives him sight or makes him blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now therefore, go, I'll be with you, teaching you what to say." But Moses answered him, "Our Lord, I beg you to send someone else." Then the Lord was angry with Moses and said to him, "Don't you have your brother Aaron the Levite? I know he speaks well. He is already coming to meet you and will be glad to see you. You will talk to him and tell him what he should say. I will be with you when you speak, and I will tell you what to do. As God speaks to the prophet, you will speak to your brother, and he will be your spokesman before the people. And take this rod in your hand, with it you will do the miraculous signs." Then Moses returned to Jethro, his father-in-law, and said to him, "I must go back to Egypt to see if my relatives are still alive." Jethro answered him, "Go in peace." Now the Lord had said to Moses in Midian, "Go back to Egypt, for all those who sought to kill you are dead." So Moses took his wife and children on a donkey and went back to Egypt. He carried the rod of God in his hand. The Lord said to Moses, "When you return to Egypt, be careful to do all the wonders before Pharaoh that I gave you power to perform. But I will harden his heart so that he will not let the people go. Then tell Pharaoh that thus says the Lord, Israel is my firstborn. And I already told you to let my son go to worship me. But you didn't want to let him go, so I will kill your firstborn." And then along the way, the Lord met Moses and sought to kill him. But Zipporah took a sharp stone, cut off her son's foreskin, and touched Moses' feet. And she said, "You are a blood husband to me." She said blood husband, referring to circumcision. At that time the Lord left him. Then the Lord said to Aaron, "Go into the desert to meet Moses." He went, met Moses on the mountain of God, and greeted him with a kiss. Moses told Aaron everything the Lord had commanded him to say, and he also told him of all the miraculous signs he had commanded him to perform. So Moses and Aaron went and gathered all the leaders of the Israelites. And Aaron told them all that the Lord had said to Moses. Then Moses also performed the signs before the people. And they believed. When the people learned that the Lord had decided to come to their aid and had seen their oppression, they bowed in worship.